Well, it's the anointed hour. It's 5:15. Good evening, everyone. My name's Henry Velliker. I'm a Plan Commission member. Chairman Smith, the mayor, is joining us remotely, and he did ask and felt that someone who's physically present at the meeting should chair, and he asked me to do it, and I'm glad to do so. We do have a public hearing we're going to get to, but I should probably, for the record, put our attendance. We've got Chairman Brian Smith, Commissioners Eric Olson, Dana Gutsky, thank you, Justin Behrens, and Jake Waller with us. And I do believe that means we have a quorum, so we can conduct business. The first item will go right to the public hearing. And this is a conditional use permit public hearing for Timothy J. Garkey and Andy Kruger, owner, and Wayne Kane, agent, 217 South Main Street. Jared, could you tell us a little bit about this before we get comments?
Of course. So this is for a conditional use for 217 South Main Street, as many of us would know as Aquamos. They are looking to add a special window in the front of their structure that would allow them to do a walk-up order and takeout service. They would like to do this to promote additional customers in the summer. They do have the tables outside, so it kind of creates that better flow through there. And I believe they also hope to do ice cream, which is exciting. So we do have two representatives from Aquamos here today. So if they would like to say anything, they're more than welcome to during the public hearing or during the meeting if you guys so choose. Otherwise, I guess just initial comments that I did get from the public. There was one comment that came in that was concerned that this was a drive-through. So I reassured them that it was not a drive-through. Nobody would be on the sidewalk driving cars. And after I told them it was a walk-up window, they loved the idea. So yeah, nothing but support from everyone I've talked to.
Well, great. Well, this is a time where we would take comment in favor and opposition to the conditional use being proposed. So I think the first call is to folks who want to comment in support of the conditional use permit. If you do, please take the podium, state your name and address, and keep your comments, I believe, to 3 minutes. Okay. He's seeing none. Now we'll take some testimony in opposition to the proposed conditional use. If there's anybody who wants to make testimony in opposition, please do so. Okay, seeing none, I guess we'll declare the public hearing closed at 5:18 p.m. And I'm going to get the agenda on my phone, so please bear with me, guys.
If this helps.
Oh, all right, well, I got it here. Okay, so now we're going into the actual meeting. Again, the same commissioners are in attendance, and Chairman Smith joining us remotely. Our first item is to approve the agenda. Is there a motion to do so?
Move to approve the agenda.
Second.
Okay, we got a first and a second. Any further discussions? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, say no. Motion carries. The next item is our annual code of ethics. This is a requirement that all our committees and the city council review the code of ethics in the month of May, and that's what we're doing. So I'm assuming everyone's had a chance to read those and are familiar with them. I believe what we did last night, we didn't take a formal action. We just basically
Placed it on file.
put them on file, acknowledged them, put them on file. So I don't need any actual action on that. They'll be placed on file. I appreciate everyone's review of those. The next item is the review and approval of the April 3rd meeting minutes. And those are in your packet. If anybody's have any question on the minutes or any changes, if not, we'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Okay, we got a motion by Barron's, a second by Dana. You were just a second behind, just like in that NASCAR race. the
He's
other
quick.
day.
Always has been.
Just a millisecond behind. Okay, so we got a motion and a second to adopt the April 3rd minutes. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Pose, say no. Motion carries. Okay, so now we're going to get into the action items. We have the first item is the conditional use permit. That was the topic of our public hearing this evening. We do have representatives of the project. Might now be the time if you'd like to say something to the commission. If you're not obligated, but if you'd like to, give us some more information about your project, that'd be great. Will you please go to the podium and just state your name, please, and where you reside, so we got it for the record. Yeah.
Okay, my name is Wayne Kane, and I reside at 2651 in Melody Lane.
And my name is Alex Leclerc. I reside at 2215 Commercial Drive.
Great, thank you, guys.
Yeah, we're just really excited about the opportunity. We've been wanting to do something that will attract, I guess the easiest way to say it is the summertime crowd. So when you go through a town and you see lines of people lined up outside of a business or out on the streets of Main Street or at an ice cream shop, it's like that's the place you want to be. That's what we're hoping to promote on that end of town, which will also help really all of the downtown area. We're looking to be open with that. Obviously, it's seasonal because it would be walk up, and as much as we'd love to do it in December and January and February, that's not realistic. But we'd run through the end of October, so probably close it down right after Halloween on Main. And then we would be looking at opening back up somewhere in the April time period.
Great. How long do you think it'll take to physically do what you need to do?
We have everything set to go, and it's 5 to 7 weeks, and then probably another week for an install. So I would love to have it done by the end of July, first part of August, to catch the last part of August and September and into October.
Yeah, next year would be our first full summer with
Gotcha.
the window in motion.
Yeah.
So, Jared, can you tell the commission why this is requiring conditional use?
Yeah, of course. So any typical restaurant, we did recently go through a code change that would typically allow, so if Aquamos, as it stood today, wanted to go in, it's a standard coffee shop, it has the dine-in area, you get in, you get your stuff inside, seated inside, etc. You can obviously walk out with it just like any other restaurant if you get a to-go order. What they're looking to add is a bit unique. It's going to be a walk-up window in which would fall into our restaurants with drive-through, drive-in, or walk-up order service. So those are just special cases in that, a restaurant having a drive-through, it's going to probably be more of a fast food restaurant establishment, different traffic circulation, pedestrian movements, etc. So walk up specifically with the pedestrian movements. But it's a very different restaurant than a standard, park somewhere, sit in, your standard restaurant. So for that reason, it is a conditional use, just so that we can verify, similar to the one concern that was brought in, if they were looking to do a drive-through, we would probably have some concern of how you're going to accomplish that on the sidewalk. So it's just for us to double check and place any possible conditions if it's, if we need to mitigate any issues.
Eric?
Are you going to have any additional signage, like on the wall or on the window, or
Yeah.
stating what you're serving?
Yeah, that was the next step in terms of going through and determining what is going to be allowed from a signage standpoint from the outside. Even if we've even thought to the point where if there's no additional signage allowed, permanent signage, we can make removable boards that would simply, like we do with our tables at the end of the night, we just would pull them in. And then that way their menus would be attached to the wall, swing out, be visible during ordering during the time period and then be removed at the end of the day.
Correct.
But if we could, obviously with whatever we needed from the permits and signage and that to add additional signage, that would be, even better. But we'll figure it out one way or the other depending on what's allowed and not. So that would be the next step in this whole thing. But that wouldn't necessarily be a deterrent one way or the other from us doing it.
All right, thank you.
And your outside seating, you feel is adequate, or you probably would do a little bit of more of that
Yeah.
as well?
So we currently have 3 tables out there and a couple benches. We're looking to add some additional seating, but none would be on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
No, we have an arrangement that we've worked through with our neighbor, the monument company. And they have a green space area, if you've ever looked
Yep.
on that side.
Sure.
There's a fence area, some of the monuments, and that goes back to a green space area. And they've said that we're able to develop that however we want. They're going to be removing those. And our hopes would be to position picnic tables and other things into that green space area, do some outdoor remodeling, so to speak, landscaping, put up some wind sails, some shade, those types of things. And then, if possible, too, we're hoping to develop that, since it is already a fenced-in area, to develop that into a dog park area, where customers could come in with their dogs and utilize that area in that space, if possible. That isn't part of this project, other than the fact of just putting in picnic
The
tables.
picnic tables, put up some sails, like you said, some lighting as well to add to the ambiance of the nightlife.
Eric?
So if you serve ice cream, are you going to do soft serve or scoop?
We're looking to do scoop right now.
Oh, maybe some competition for scoopers, huh?
Well,
We're looking to do more specialty scoops, so we're
Yeah.
going to combine different flavors, make like a special of the day that'll be more of a Sunday. So do some more unique flavors.
yeah, we've talked to the movie theaters who will do, we'll do some partnering with them for movie-themed ice cream. So let's say Spider-Man is playing, then we'll do a promotion between them and us to have Spider-Man ice cream, for example, and then the show, And one of the things that we're looking to do is keep that walkthrough open during the summertime till around 10 o'clock at night to catch all of the moviegoers and that traffic over there. So that would be, I think, a benefit for the late night, even the games and different things that are going on around town. Hopefully people then can come to the downtown and, shop and stay there.
Yeah, fantastic.
Commissioners, anyone else? Any questions?
They have to submit building plans for this?
They will need the building permit for the window. I believe you guys have already talked with Jane about what's needed for that.
Yes.
Yep, so they're all set with that.
Yep.
And then I know it's not part of this one, and then but for the future monument area, we'll just work through the site plan with you to get that all
Yeah,
documented.
For
So,
sure.
Yeah, that'll be next on the agenda after we did, obviously we were waiting for this decision, if we can even do this first part of the project and then move forward from there. But we're really hopeful that we can develop the whole idea, within by next summer. So.
We know it's going to be in phases, but we're excited to see how that, takes us through the whole project and what we can develop.
and then just a reminder to you guys, this is a recommendation to council. If it is, or I guess no matter the recommendation, it'll go to council on May 21st for approval.
Yeah, and you'll get an agenda, and you're certainly welcome to attend that meeting.
Oh, okay.
So, okay, if there's no more questions, does anybody have a motion to consider?
I will move that we recommend approval to council.
Perfect. We got a second?
Second.
We got a second from Dana to recommend approval of the conditional use permit to council when they meet next. Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Congratulations. At this point, you pass this stage of the process.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, good luck. Okay. Now, my agenda again.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, have a great evening.
All right, so the second action item is ordinance number 09-2024, amendment to chapter 12.10, parent 7, parent C, scrap dealers. Jared, tell us about this.
Thank you very much. This one starts on page 19 of your packets. This is a ordinance format of a discussion that we had at the last Plan Commission meeting regarding scrap dealers. The red line for this one can be found on page, starting on page 20. And if you do recall, the decision at the last Plan Commission meeting was just to remove a section that had talked about how scrap dealers cannot operate on Sundays or between the hours of 8 p.m. or 6 a.m. The discussion started at removing Sunday and just doing a limited operation. But it was felt that the enforcement of that is just difficult, so it's easier just to remove it. So that is what staff brought forward in ordinance format. If desired, we'd be looking for a recommendation to council for approval.
Yeah, I believe we only license maybe 2 or 3 of these a year, scrap dealers?
It's not many.
Yeah, so it's a small number. Okay, do commissioners have any questions for Jared? Pretty straightforward. All right, are we ready for a motion?
So moved.
Okay,
And this is
Justin?
recommendation to council to approve, right?
yes. Correct, Jared?
Correct.
Second?
Thank you. And we've got a second by Commissioner Olson. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, we'll go ahead and vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Recommending ordinance 09-2024 to the council. And that too will go on the 21st, I'm guessing.
So this will actually need public hearings for the council, so this will most likely go more in June.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah, because we have the 15-day notice requirement or something.
Yeah,
Public hearing.
the
Yeah.
class 2. Yep.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. All right, well, the next item, the third and final action item on the agenda for this evening is preliminary plat review, River North Ridge subdivision. Jared did distribute a memo earlier this afternoon with some updates to the plat review. Jared, you're probably going to tell us this. This is a decision that lies with the Plan Commission, or is this a recommendation to council?
So this is going to be a recommendation to council. This, after your recommendation, would go to the May 21st council
Gotcha.
meeting.
Perfect. All right. All right. Well, why don't you? We do have a representative of River North, right, on the call or on the.
We now have 3, actually.
Okay. Well, welcome everyone.
Thank you.
MS, BR, and A.
Yeah, so we have Alex
Yes.
and Wade. They're with Tycor Built. They are the developers.
Great.
We have Brad with, I've already forgot how to actually pronounce it, Verbecker. Veerbecker. And he is the engineering firm working on the plat itself.
Well, welcome everyone to our meeting.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, Jared, you want to set us up?
Yeah, of course. So this one, the memo for this one starts on page 22 of your packets. I will point out I did, if I did not get you one, I think I got everyone one. I did hand out a printed copy of the updated memo. The developers and engineers were able to go back and make some changes to the plat, and that updated plat is what you're going to see in your packets here today. So I just wanted to give the Plan Commission an update, show you which items have been already taken care of. Those are the ones that have been striked out, and this has been completed after them. There are still a few in there that may need some small tweaks, or just some notes that really weren't action items. And then there are a few at the end on the second page that were noted after that I had missed and my staff actually caught. So kudos to them. And I appreciate their diligence in looking at that. So the plat itself starts on page 24 of your packets. This is just for phase 1. It is 35 lots. It'll have a street coming off of Royalton, still working on approvals and what that looks like specifically, but that is the intent. All single-family homes. At this point, there are a few lots that could accommodate duplexes if we so pleased. They are, or if the developers desired, they are large enough to do that and meet the R2 zoning code requirements. Otherwise, yeah, so staff reviewed. I'm not sure if I can give you guys a sec to look through the memo and see if you guys have any additional comments outside of the ones in this memo. If so, we can discuss them, and if desired, we'll put them in the memo to be added to the plat. And of course, if you have any specific questions for Alex, Wade with Tycor, or Brad as the engineer, I'm sure they are happy to answer any of those questions. I can zoom out on this one.
I got a question. I just noticed this lot 8, Tycor guys. There's a little notch there in that lot. What is the point of that?
I can answer that from Beer. This is Brad from Beer Baker, but that is a CBU location, so that would be a mailbox location for the entire development, or for at least the first phase.
Oh, okay, excellent. Thank you.
I believe that's an actual, that is a requirement from the Postal Service, that all new developments have the CBUs, which is the community-based mailbox unit, instead of individual mailboxes.
That's correct.
Hey, Jared, so the memo that's in the packet, which is on page 22, the one that you just sent out is replacing that one or in addition to?
Replacing. The one in the packet is outdated. They came forward and made a lot of those changes in that initial memo. So this new memo just kind of crosses out the things they've already changed, and then just keeps in the things that haven't or need to be discussed further.
Okay.
And everyone's aware of the outstanding items, right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Mayor, did you have something else you wanted to say?
I did not, Henry. I'm
Okay,
good.
thank you. Okay.
I've got a question about that mailbox. Why did you choose that location for that group of mailboxes? It seems like an odd spot because the people that live on the other side, wouldn't it make more sense to have it when they drive in that off of Royalton on like the side street?
I think it was just placed there preliminarily. I'm not sure what correspondence we've had with the Postal Service. It can be moved anywhere when it comes time to reviewing the final plat, though. We'll leave it up to the Postal Service to direct us exactly where they want it.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm just thinking if I own lot 8, I'd be sick of cars pulling up, constantly for their mail. But that's just me.
I understand.
Yeah, thanks.
And just as a note, since it was discussed, I'll add it to the memo, just again for record-keeping purposes.
Jared, the lots on the cul-de-sac, are those, well, I should probably talk to the developer. If you decide the market can justify the duplexes, would they be grouped kind of on that cul-de-sac, or just would they be interspersed within the whole development?
Right now, we don't have any plans for any developments, or I'm sorry, any duplexes. I think, Jared, what you were saying was the size meets the R2.
Yeah, so in our code, per dwelling unit, there needs to be 5,000 square feet. So there are
Okay.
only a certain handful of lots within this subdivision that are
That
over
would
that
be big
10,000
enough.
square feet. So if it was desired by the developers, certainly could, but at this point, no duplexes have been proposed. It will all be single family.
Well, obviously, that's up to the developer, and the market will
Yep.
dictate what they want to do, so, okay. Justin, your department's reviewed it and everything, and
Yep.
You're good.
Thinking of the timeline, when will these actually become city streets?
As far as our end, we want to start as soon as possible. So the normal and, unless it would be something different than this, what would happen is the streets would be built, surveys done, streets would be built, infrastructure put in. Obviously, engineering checks probably on your end that everything's being done right, and then the streets get turned over after you accept those streets, obviously, that the construction meets your requirements. So a time frame to say exactly, it's going to depend a little bit on contractors, but now that once we know that we're moving in the right direction with this, Vierbecker is going to be working on sewer and water plans, and then we're going to start bidding it out.
Okay, yeah, and I get you can't put a precise date on it, but would you think it would be this year yet, or would it potentially be
Yes.
like next spring?
No, we really want to try and get it in this year.
Okay, and then when you're talking build a road and have it acceptable to us, you're gonna have it paved, curb and gutter and paved.
Well, normally what happens, but this is all, based on what you guys are wanting. Sewer, water, curb, gutter, all utilities, gravel road goes down. And then we usually do binder course until I think it's probably 70 to 80% of the houses are built in that one section, and then do the final course. That certainly is open for discussion, but that's typically how we do it. Just in case anything happens with the road during a construction event or something, there's a pothole or something, it's much better to fix all that stuff after it's been driven on for a while first, and then secondly for the final coat to go on.
Right. Yes, and that's acceptable. That's actually preferred to wait for the second layer
Yeah,
until
okay.
later. So
Great question. Who decides on the name of the streets?
I think we do.
Yeah, I think they put some suggestions on the plat, which we weren't attached to. We just, we usually say, Vierbecker, pick out what sounds good and works, and we don't want anything offensive. And then if the city has recommendations or wants something, we're wide open on that stuff.
Okay.
So, sorry, to piggyback that, so these are city streets, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so in the past, I don't know if it's in our rules or not, but in the past, the city decides what those street names are.
I think that's correct, Mayor. I
Yeah,
think that's correct, Mayor, from my recollection.
And I think from our standpoint, I think the intent, after we're kind of going through this preliminary plat, because we don't have to have the street names finalized till the final plat, we would have that decided and get that over to Tycor and Vierbacher and get that to them for the final plat. So I actually have that on our dirt agenda for tomorrow.
Okay. Do we have any more questions, commissioners, of the developer or the engineer? Do you guys have anything further to tell us before we
don't.
take action?
I don't think so.
Okay. No, that's fine. Okay. All
Jared
right,
and
well,
Aaron have done a great job communicating with us and keeping us up to date, and emails going back and forth. And I mean, they've been fantastic to work with, and Vierbeckers has commented the same thing. So we're looking forward to getting started.
That's great to hear. Okay, well, are we ready to take some action? The action would be to recommend approval of the preliminary plat for River North Ridge subdivision.
With the changes noted in the staff memo.
Thank you. With
The
the changes, updated changes noted in the staff memo, which was updated this afternoon, May 8th.
I'll make the motion, Henry.
Okay, Commissioner Barron's makes the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Olson makes the second. Is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Okay, so this will go to the May 21 council meeting.
Correct.
All right, perfect. Thank you,
Thanks
guys.
very much, guys.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Good luck with your project. Okay, discussion items, future land use south of Highway 10.
Yeah. Give me one moment. Just want to make a note.
Ooh, you can't multitask?
I could, but. All right.
Go ahead, Jim.
So this item starts on page 26 of your packets. So the first items I have in here, I'll explain these. The first item I have in here is a service area for the sewer lift station that we are expanding on or adding on
Airport sewer extension project.
Airport Sewer Extension Project. Thank you, Justin.
You're welcome.
And that was sized to do the other side.
Correct.
I got you.
Yeah, so correct me if I'm wrong, Justin. This I guess just to kind of let me
May I
finish
just
this
take over?
first.
You scroll back up. I think
Okay.
so. That graphic there is turned sideways. North is to our left. The green is the immediate service area of the new sewer. You flipped her upside down now, Jared. Oh my gosh.
It's hard. It's hard.
Sometimes I just can't
Counterclockwise.
work with you, Jared.
It's hard to find good help nowadays.
Okay,
There we go.
now we're cooking with gas. So
Cool.
the green is the immediate sewer service area. The blue is a future, like phase 3 or whatever we have in our planning document. In the red is, again, another future, but on the other side of Highway 10. And Henry is right. We have sized gravity mains, the lift station, in the depth of half of that line to accommodate the red. The floor is yours.
Thank you. So this is one part of this discussion, just explaining the visual a little bit. I'll kind of get to the main point here in a second. And now we're all messed up here.
Upside down again.
So this next visual is just looking at our current water sewer infrastructure in this area, specifically to the south of Highway 10 by the Waupaca Municipal Airport. So you can see in here, we do have water extending down to the terminal building. We have sewer that stops at Ferg Lane. What we're looking to expand will go down to the terminal building, or that area, airport area. And then we have water sewer on County K and on East Gateway Drive down just a little bit. That if we go back up to the future expansion area, there are lines that would serve the remainder of this area. So looking at utilities in this area, now we're starting to look to the future land use of this area and kind of the main point. So with River North now starting to progress, which really resulted in staff talking with business owners, the large industries within Waupaca, and listening to them in that they are having trouble getting workers because there's not any viable housing in the city. There's not housing for people to move up into. We had a huge boom over in the East Gateway, East Gate district, which was the former CAP subdivision, which has now been almost completely built out. That filled up very quick. We're now getting to the point that, we're running out of space for housing. So staff, plan commission, council, bunch of all the other committees, took a look at that industrial area that is now River North and decided that, hey, that is maybe the best spot to expand housing, the most efficient, the most effective cost-wise, et cetera. So we have now progressed with that. We have 45 units going in of affordable housing. We have the 35 single-family houses coming forward on the plat. The same developers are also proposing a 120-unit apartment complex consisting of 8 plexes to the south of Godfrey. So that's really starting to fill in, and we're fulfilling our goal of adding housing that will assist businesses in housing employees. So now that we've really started that, being the planning department, we're trying to look forward to the future in that, we have taken industrial area away. Where can we find new industrial area? This conversation was catalyzed by our County Economic Development Corporation Director, Jeff McCorsky. Had talked with him on multiple occasions just about different industrial businesses, what they're looking for, and what they desire in possible new spaces. And he had noted items such as adjacency to an interstate. Now, I will note Highway 10 is not an interstate. We have too many non-interchanged turnoffs for it to be considered an interstate. However, Highway 10 is a 4-lane highway. So it is the next best thing. Not perfect, but again, next best thing. So in addition to the adjacency to an interstate or 4-lane highway, a lot of these industrial businesses are looking for easy access to an interchange itself, which, again, looking at this area and this visual I have up on the screen, you can see both proximity to the Highway 10 and to the interchange. That's for their truck traffic, deliveries, etc. They're looking for frontage roads that can support truck traffic, which Eastgate Drive and Runway Drive both can. Correct, Justin?
Yes.
Perfect. Just wanted to double check. And we also have an area down here that has really started to fill in with industrial. We have the Midwest Compressors, I believe is the name, and that's up in the kind of top left area of that blue, outline blue. We have the County Highway Department, and then we have another kind of, I think it's some sort of fuel storage facility, gas. I don't know specifically what that is, but feels industrial. So
Grain bins?
grain bins. So really looking at this area, and with the idea in mind that, we have now taken industrial area away, where can we find new industrial area that could eventually infill? Again, planning takes time. It takes 15 to 20 years sometimes to plan something. So that's why you start now. Where within the city are the industrial requirements or desires going to be met, and where could we possibly expand to? And that really led us to this area. You can see a lot of different elements are met. It's already started to infill as industrial. And so I guess I wanted to start the conversation at Plan Commission to get everyone's thoughts on this. This is, again, down the line. It's not a guarantee. A lot of things could change. And what I think is kind of unique about this is what we would try to do. It wouldn't just be an industrial area. It would be more of that business park concept in which industrial could move in. Otherwise, it could also be higher use or higher intensity commercial uses. So I guess I'm going to open up to you guys to discuss, ask some clarifying questions if there are any. If you have any thoughts or other things that staff should think about, look into, we're more than happy to do this. This is just a starting discussion point, trying to plan for the future on where we could find future commercial industrial area. And I guess I'll note, looking at the other interchanges, since Waupaca gratefully has 4. I don't know how we have 4, but I'm not arguing. So it is great. But a lot of those other interchanges have already maybe had development around them. They're in an area where utilities aren't so easily expanded. For example, Lakeside Parkway, we'd have to do quite a expansive extension down there. Or they're just not in a super suitable or developable area. This area has a lot of farmland, flat land. It does have some wetlands, but nothing that couldn't be worked with. So I'm going to stop jabbering. I'll open it up. Please, any questions, initial thoughts, concerns?
How many acres are you considering it here, Jared? Do you have an approximate number?
Yeah, approximate number is going to be about 500.
Oh my goodness.
That's including wetlands. So I'm just gonna take away 50 acres just to be safe, and we'll say 450 acres.
Multiple property owners. I know one property owner for a long time had about 80 acres in there.
Yes,
Do
and
they still do?
that property, and that's,
Must be on the far west side.
Yeah.
yeah, and that property owner is still interested in developing there, so.
Okay. Well, it's public record, right, on a plat?
Yep, everything can be found on the county
Yeah.
GIS. This map was made.
Swiderski.
Yep,
So the wetlands are in the larger area, about 422.8
yep, and these aren't specifically delineated wetlands, so they're approximate.
And because this isn't in our actual city limits, doesn't Wisconsin law allow us to still kind of plan within so much of a distance of our borders? How does all that work?
Correct, so that would be the extraterritorial zoning,
Okay.
in which we would add to our future land use map. So that'd really be the first start, or the first step to this. Once we go through a few discussion periods, discussions about this, and if it's decided that, hey, yep, we should look at moving forward, at least start to plan for this. We're by no means in any position as a city to go buy up land and incentivize it or start another TIF, not until 2032 at least. So we have quite a bit of time in between now and then, but there are quite a few steps to do the extraterritorial zoning. Since it's not our land, we need to get together with the township that does own it. Probably conversations just generally with the county planning departments, things such as that. So the first step, though, is getting that change on our future land use map to reflect our intentions.
Commissioners, does anybody have any questions for Jared? I mean, we're not going to take any action this evening. We're just talking, and probably maybe another month, put it on for another discussion.
Yep. Correct.
Commissioners can think about it.
So you've chosen to go east because the land on the south side of 10 is congruent to the city limits on the north side of 10? Is that the idea? I assume the airport's in city limits?
Yeah, you can just jump the road to annex it, right?
Yes, and we have land down here. So if you look on page 28.
Oh, we have land on the south side of 10?
Yep, we do. So actually, the county highway shop is in the city.
Okay, I didn't
That's
realize
right,
that.
they annexed in.
Yep, that Midwest
Oh my
compressor.
gosh, yeah.
Pretty
okay.
much everything surrounding the interchange
That's right.
is
All right.
the interchange is the on off ramps.
So
Our
these
city
acres are contiguous, so it wouldn't be any problem annexing, Dana, sounds like.
And we actually have a few of them already extraterritorial zoned, but they are zoned for multifamily, which is possible. It's certainly possible. However, the area appears to be really filling in with more industrial than multifamily, and we're looking at the housing projects in River North already. So it's going to be quite an influx of residential units. We've also identified some other areas within the city that would be better suited for residential as compared to commercial or industrial as well. So the residential expansion we feel will go elsewhere.
All right,
Seems logical.
yeah, it sure does.
Yeah, like Henry said, I'll put this on the next month, and we can even do it at the next month after that. But think about it. If any comments come up, or hey, we should look into this, or could you bring this to the Plan Commission to, in the packet? Please let me know. More than happy to get that and do that, just so we can compile all the information that we can.
Okay. All right, well, assuming there's no more questions, we'll just go on next to the reports. After Jared makes his notes.
Sorry.
There you go.
So the permit reports start on page 29 of your packets. It is remaining steady. A lot of people are doing projects, which is great to see. We encourage that and love to see that. Looks like for this period, the new homes and commercial new are tied to take the cake. We had 8 new home UDC permits come in. I know we've had a few more after that, so really exciting to see a lot of private development. Fun to definitely take a look at these reports too, and maybe do a little community tour to see how all those projects are progressing. A lot going on there. If you haven't gotten over, speaking of development starting, if you haven't gotten over to the River North area to see the start of the affordable housing, multi-housing project, they're moving a lot of dirt, so kind of puts butterflies in your stomach a little bit, and or maybe I'm just weird. Yeah, and then in terms of zoning permits, staying steady with those two. Quite a few change in uses. The BC Marsh up to the north, they're looking at adding some walking trails for nature nature conservatory and bird sanctuary. So super exciting to see and work with them as we continue on that. Let's see what else. Some new businesses in the downtown that are noteworthy. What are their names here? Sorry, I lost it. Earth and Spirit Retail Shop, that's up on North Main. And then there's one not in the downtown, which is Rolling Tacos, and they're looking to open a restaurant in the BP on West Fulton. So exciting to see some new food options. But yeah, rest is pretty standard. Happy to take any questions if you got any.
I got a question.
Yeah.
I see that it looks like the Foundry's re-roofing warehouse A and B. We charge them $17,000 in permits for that? What does all that go to?
So the permits are based on price of the project.
Oh, that's a lot of roof.
Yeah, so depending on what they're looking at doing at the if they're just looking to add new metal, or if they're looking to insulate or do whatever they're doing.
I mean, good for the city.
Yeah, total cost is factored in for the fee.
Okay, just big number.
Yeah.
Any other questions, commissioners? All right, development updates.
Well, you saw the plat come through, so super excited about the 35 lots starting there. We have the new development, River North Cottages. It's the 45 units of affordable multifamily that has started moving dirt. Same area, the Tycor Build is also looking to do the 120 or so units of multifamily to the south of Godfrey. They're working on site plans for that now. So some items will be coming forward for that in the near future, next couple months. Like they had said, they're hoping to start a lot of this year, which is super exciting. Single-family homes that I mentioned, great to see those. A lot of new single-family home developments and more being proposed. We're aware of 2 more that will be coming in soon. Other than that, I think Commissioner Olson mentioned how the 223 Division Street apartments that are being worked on, all the trees have come down. They're slowly starting to get moving on that parcel again. We don't have a timeline for them, but we are hopeful that they will be getting the building approval from the state back to us soon. Hopefully in the next couple months, and then we can work on permits with them. So
That state permit's kind of a holdup right now, right?
state permits take a while. That is, they're always behind. They're always short-staffed, and it takes a lot longer than the city reviewing them. But the city only has so much power to review commercial buildings and buildings that have sprinkler systems and things like that. So yeah,
That's going to be a really nice development.
it is.
Being a 0 setback, it's going to feel a lot different through there.
It is, and a fun fact, and I think I have the number wrong, but for every unit of housing added to a downtown district brings in about $14,000 per unit per year, just in the downtown district. So to have residential units more downtown would be a really big help to our downtown businesses.
Aquamos will be selling a lot of ice
Ice
cream.
cream on a hot summer July
Oh, yeah.
day. Yeah, that's great. Distillery progressing.
Distillery's moving along. They hope to, I believe, be finished by fall. Same with H.H. Hinder on Churchill Street. They hope to have their event space open by fall.
Good. And then our restaurant across the street seems to be making some movement.
They're moving. I can't give you a timeline, but they're moving,
Yeah.
and I'm still excited. So
Yeah. Well, they're slowly seem to be making progress.
Between the development of the distillery, the new terrace in front of the Danes house, and all the effort that's been put into Nell Rassman Park, it's really expanded the length of our downtown, I think. It's become, the north side has become a destination as well as the south side, which is really encouraging to see.
Yeah, it is great news. And I think Aaron was telling me earlier today after Rotary that I think we got 3 grants. There was 3 state of Wisconsin grants that went to those private businesses. Well, the city had to kind of sign off on them, and we're technically sort of the middleman on it. But those were all on the North Main, so it really rejuvenated those buildings.
yeah, Henry, I think that's a
3
great
grand?
comment. That WEDC and Main Street communities, we got a Vibrant Spaces grant for the Danes Hall, which is great. We got a CDI grant for the distillery, and we also got a CDI grant for the it's the building with residential above, and it has the Alternative Edge and Northern Kitchen in it. So we got a CDI grant for that one as well.
That's the one on the corner of Sessions across from the canoe and the walkway down to the park. Yeah.
So super exciting, and I think we're extremely grateful for the assistance that they have offered in the form of those grants. So
Good.
I think we're going to try to do some posting and some advertising of how grateful we are in the near future on Facebook and other social media. So should be nice to see.
Any other questions for Jared? Mayor, as chair, do you have anything you want to tell us?
I don't. No. Good
Okay.
job, Henry, tonight, and
All right, thank you.
Jared, way to set it up.
All right, perfect. Well, we are at number 7 on the agenda. So what is?
So move.
Okay. we
Motion
have-
to adjourn.
Okay, Commissioner Justin.
Second.
Commissioner Eric. Motion to adjourn. All in favor, say aye. Aye. We
Aye.
are opposed, say no. We are adjourned at 6:08 p.m.